Ja te neću ništa pokatiti, samo prebroj 10, ti zapravo kreneš vani prije od 10, ali da budemo sigurni da ne kreneš govoriti, što prebroj tih 10 u tišini i onda samo kreneš. No. Ej, halo?
Hello everyone, my name is Elena and I will be your host today. We are all really sorry that you guys didn't have a chance to meet in person, but it's really lovely to see you all here. And I'm really happy that this all is still happening regardless of the situation we are all in. The Industry Youth program is really important for us because it includes a pitching forum for your student project, in which you, screenwriters and directors, will be given the opportunity to present your project to an international panel of representatives from regional post-production studios. And the best project will be rewarded with some of their services, as well as the ZFF cash prize of 1,000 euros for the production of the film. So it's important to say who our partners and what the awards are. So we have Poster. They will give you guidance and project development and 3 days of working in the studio and image post-production. We have Šesnić and Turković, creation of the film poster, and Zagreb Film Festival, cash prize of 1,000 euros for production. Our panel members are Tom Vujnović from Poster, Goran Turković from Šesnić and Turković, and Eva Bojanovska from New York Film Sales. First, I would like to say hello and welcome to this panel, and thank you everyone for your interest in joining us. So let's start with Eva Bojanovska. Hello, Eva, welcome. Thank you for coming. Eva joined New York Film Sales in 2015. It's a workshop-based sales company specialized in both features and short. And it's really important to say that New Europe Film Sales in their lineup, among others, have some of the best films from our region. So we are really happy to have you here. Tom Vujnović and Goran Turković, they are with us from the beginning of the pitching forum. Tom Vujnović from Poster. Hello, Tom, welcome. Tom is professor on the Academy of Dramatic Arts in Zagreb. He is a master of special effects, color grading, and generally post-production. And as I said, he will provide the winner of the project development and 3 days of working in the studio in picture post-production. And in the end, Goran Turković. Hello, Goran, welcome. He is one half of one of the most popular graphic design and visual communication studios in Zagreb. They did a lot of exhibitions, visual identities, editorials, design for a film, and most importantly, they had some of the best posters for movies in the region. And they will provide you a movie poster for your project. And there are 6 academies with us today from Croatia, Slovenia, Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, North Macedonia, and Montenegro. So it means 6 projects. There are some rules and they are really simple. The pitching participants will have 7 minutes for the presentation and 7 minutes for questions and answering. I will be showing you the time. When you guys start your pitching, we will mute ourselves and I will show you with my fingers, 1 minute have passed, 2 minutes have passed, and so on. And after 7 minutes go, after it finishes, you will hear a little sound like a ring or something. So you know you are finished, and of course you can end your sentence. That's it. After that, after you guys are all finished, panel members, jury, will exit the Zoom call and they will hook to another. They will there deliberate finalizing their decision on the winning project, and we will wait for, I don't know, 20 minutes, and we will meet again here at 3 o'clock. So with no further ado, I think if no one has questions, we can begin. Good luck to everyone. So for the beginning, we have girls from Slovenia. They will pitch us their project, their movie Soup, Juha, Nika Otrin, Sara Polans. Nika Otrin is director and screenwriter. She created some short films, music videos, and participated in various television broadcasts. And Sara Polans, co-writer, has already found photography and theater interesting in high school, and she later combined two fields at School of Arts in Nova Gorica, and after a year, she decided to end her studies there, and she applied to the Academy of Theater, Radio, Film, and Television in Ljubljana. So the girls will show the presentation to us. We have 7 minutes, and then later 7 minutes for questions. So we can start. Time is going.
Hello, so my name is Nika Otrin. I'm a director and a screenwriter for the project Soup. I just graduated in film and television editing course in the Academy of Theater, Radio, Film and Television in Ljubljana, Slovenia. And now I'm studying film directing, and this is gonna be my graduation film.
And hello, my name is Sara Polans. I just finished film and TV directing at the Academy of Ljubljana. Me and Nika just finished working on our graduation film together, and now we're working together again. And this time I am a co-writer of screenplay Soup.
So this is a story about an older couple who gets an unexpected visit that reminds them of the tragic event they experienced years ago. A couple, Mojca and Matija, who are in their 50s, are living in a village house in Slovenia. And in the nighttime, while preparing soup for dinner, their peace disturbs a loud dog barking from the outside when it finds a 17-year-old girl, Andrea, under the tree trying to steal their apples. She's a Moldovan immigrant who escaped poverty and family violence. The story is told through Matija's eyes. While he isn't pleased with her stealing, Mojca insists on taking her in because she sees Andrea as a young teen who is starving and needs help. But Matija is not that welcoming. He refuses to talk to her while Mojca tries really hard with her broken English, and the lack of English that Mojca knows is forcing her to communicate with Andrea with gestures and actions. And the couple speaks Slovenian with each other, and Andrea knows how to speak English. Sara?
So Andrea ends up staying for 3 days with the couple because the washing machine breaks down with Andrea's clothes in it, and Mojca just insists on washing her dirty clothes. Matija, of course, isn't pleased about it that Andrea is going to stay longer with the couple. So he distracts himself by working around the house. He starts mowing the grass. And when he comes back in the kitchen for a glass of water, he sees Andrea cutting Mojca's hair. And this is the moment when Matija sees that Mojca seems to be happier. He then wants to clear his thoughts and take a scooter ride, but Andrea sees the scooter and gets really curious and excited about it. So Matija, first with hesitation, offers her a ride. And we see that he used to do this a lot with someone else. By the way, he automatically puts a pink old skating helmet with stickers on Andrea's head and wants to zip it. So he actually used to do this with his daughter and hasn't enjoyed scooter rides this much since. So little by little, through props and set design, we start to unveil that there used to be a girl living in this house, and judging by the things, she used to be a young teen. The couple actually had a daughter, but she passed away. They never speak of this topic, but we slowly see why Matija is so distant towards Andrea, why he actually at first hates it when Andrea sleeps in their daughter's old room, and he hates it when Mojca offers Andrea their daughter's old clothes and jewelry. But after that scooter ride, Matija opens up to her slowly. He starts speaking to her in English, and actually he speaks very well English. He just refused to communicate with her at first, and he actually even teaches her Slovenian language. But then, of course, it comes time when Andrea's clothes get dried and it's time for her to leave. He, of course, is sad just because for a brief moment, his family felt complete again. And the film ends with the last scene where Matija and Mojca are sitting close to each other with hands intertwined and smiling in front of the TV. What Andrea's arrival actually does for the couple is it gives them a chance to make this gap caused by grief for so many years between the couple to get smaller. And the reason why we chose this story is we wanted to see how two different worlds in the time of distress, one grieving for the loss of the daughter and the other just fighting for the bare existence, and how when they come together, something beautiful can come out of something so terrible. Nika?
Yeah, so what's important for me is in this project is to see how each one of the characters who went through the same experience with losing their daughter would react to Andrea's presence differently. And the reason why Mattia at first acted so distant towards Andrea is because he wanted to protect his wife and himself from heartbroken emotions Andrea could bring. He didn't want Mojca to get attached to Andrea because he thought that it would break her even more after she leaves. But Mojca is happily caught up in the role of mothering Andrea. And the reason why I made this story is because when I lost someone close, I felt such strong emotions that I still feel till this day. And the amount of feeling alone in this world made me kind of question if there is anything worth looking forward to in life. So that's why I created Andrea, because she is something or someone that I'm excited to meet. And about the visual part of the film, we want to make the arrival of Andrea in the nighttime somewhat a bit intense, leading towards horror, more towards suspense, even though it's not a horror movie, but drama. So for the beginning, we would use color tones and colors. By continuing the story, when Matthias starts to open up his heart more, we want to focus on warmer lighting, tones of clothing and props. The important part is also clothing for Andrea. Her own clothes, her old clothes are dirty and dull. And then we have a switch in the story where she starts to wear the, where she starts to wear the old couple deceived daughter's clothes, which are a bit more cheerful and dull. And about production, we're gonna have 5 shooting days, probably 4 to 5 weeks for production, for post-production, and our main producer is gonna be the Slovenian Film Center, for which we need to apply for funds, and also our academy, from which we'll be able to use the school equipment. But the financial support from the government for the film industry in Slovenia is currently very weak, so we would like to ensure the best possible conditions for developing this story into a film. And yes, that's about it. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, we're here to answer.
Thank you so much, girls. Now it's time for Jury to ask questions. So Jury, it's your time.
I'm gonna start. I really don't have any questions. I think you girls presented it great. All the questions I had during the presentation, you answered by the end of the presentation, so nice job.
Okay, may I now ask also one question? Maybe I missed it in presentation. Presentation was also very, very fluent and excellent, and you touched all the parts that were important. But I just didn't get one thing is you didn't mention, or I didn't get it. Is there any change in relation between the two older persons, Mojca and I don't know the name of the father, because usually when some tragedy like that happens, it tends to generate like some kind of wedge between two persons, like mother and father. When they lose a child, it's very often to have a wedge between them. They don't then stop communicating. Maybe it would be nice that you also show that arrival of a third person also brings them together or something. Did I miss it, or you didn't mention it?
I did mention it, maybe it wasn't that clear. I didn't mention it at first. There used to be this gap. I mentioned it at the end of my speech. There used to be this gap between them, this emotional gap that actually shows as well as how they interact with each other. And in the end, they are together, and we see how they emotionally and physically interact with each other more. So yes, there is this dramatic look. I don't know, sorry.
Okay, super, thank you.
My main question throughout the presentation was about the genre of the film, but you actually answered it at the end. And I just wanted to say that the pictures really reference the switch quite well, because I was thinking during the presentation, you know, why do the first pictures look like a thriller and then it turns more into a drama? So that was really a good job. I just wanted to ask you to elaborate a little bit on the switch from the thriller to the drama, or the horror to the drama. Why do you feel this is an important factor of the film?
For me, the arrival might be the important part, because I really want to make it suspenseful. She comes out of nowhere. We don't know anything about this girl. But Moitza is really just head over heels for someone new. She wants to take care of a child again. She feels the need to, even though she doesn't know her. So this is something that I really want to focus on, the suspense of her arrival.
Eva, Goran, or Tom, you have any more questions maybe?
No, I think everything is quite clear. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, girls, so much. So we can move on to guys from Serbia. We have David Jovanovic, director. He's on his fourth year on the TV directing and the Faculty of Dramatic Arts in Belgrade. He's the winner of much awards for Best Director. He got some jury awards. Congratulations, David. And with him today is George Kosic, screenwriter. So the guys will show us the presentation. They have 7 minutes. So if you're ready, we can start.
Yes, so hello everybody. My name is David Jovanovic, and I just finished film directing studies in Belgrade. And I'm the director and one of 3 producers of the movie Sun Can't Be Seen No More. And
my name is George Kosic. I'm a graduated playwright and screenwriter from Belgrade. I'm currently stationed in Zagreb at my MA studies. And I've actually worked with David for several short films, a documentary, and one experimental feature film that is now in post-production. So you can say that we know each other very well.
yes, and so our movie Sun Can't Be Seen No More is a drama with the elements of fantasy, and it's a story about a village where everything is turned upside down, and you're never really sure whether it's day or night, or you can see the sun or the moon. And well, for the villagers, that was always a dirty, dusty, and empty place, and we never want really to show the sun in the movie too. For our main character Dula, who is 7 years old, this place was always a playground full of mystery and excitement.
Yes, but the problem occurs when a multi-corporate iron mine sets in their backyard and starts poisoning the air and the soil, and starts expanding, buying land and forcing villagers to move from the village. So Dula's father, Vid, battles against those odds. He tries not to sell their home, ultimately fails, and the family has to leave.
Yes, but during that struggle of trying not to sell the house, Dula, the son, is trying to cheer up his depressed father by helping him build a small plastic plant house, and they want to save the crops from the poison from the mine. And it's like a very very big project for them, because it has a small light bulb inside that keep the crops warm, and there is also a brick path around it to keep the mud out. And the plant house is actually more of a symbol, like some magical, mystical place that keeps them, is there for them to bond, and it's also there for them to forget the worries of the outer and the adult world.
Yes, and so the film ends with this great drunk and sort of grotesque feast just before the family moving out, where they celebrate the Slava.
Yeah, and Slava is a Serbian celebration of the saint who is the protector of the home, and it's their last in that place, in their home, and it ends like every Slava in the real life ends like the one in the movie, like everybody are drunk.
And just like David said, everybody is drunk and joyful except for David, the father. He's depressed because he lost the battle, and Dula tries to cheer him up in the way he sees mostly fit. He goes out of the house and takes a gasoline tank and burns the plant house to the ground. So the adults sort of rush out, panicking, and try to put the fire down. And Dula explains to angry weeds that actually if they can't have the plant house, then nobody can have it. And in that way, he actually cheers Weed up.
Yes, but then Dula looks at the sky and he sees their house floating in the air like a balloon. And then his father also looks at the same direction and he too sees the house floating in the air. So the father and the sons are both connected to the same fairy tale, the magical childish point of view to the world. And even though the ending is kind of from a racial point of view tragical, from their point of view there is some victory and hope in it. And I think that kind of childish optimism is something that we all need right now.
So a lot of the script is based on inspired by real life events and people, and the footage you are seeing on the screen is actually filmed in a village similar to the one in a story with the mine and everything. And David spent most of his childhood there, so that's where we went prior to writing the script to explore.
Yes, it's actually a documentary about the place where I spent most of my childhood years there and where my grandmother lives today. And for the last 20 years, she's trying to sell her house and to live there from there, but she's not able to. And the place now seemed a lot more different to me than it was when I was a child, because I figured that the clash of the real life drama, people and crops dying from surreal, from the poison, like you see on the video right now, there is a child living next to the mine. And also the surrealism of the happiness and the beautiful landscapes we saw and how all the people were joyful and so on would be best described and shown through a child's point of view, with full of fantastical elements. And that's why the movie is from Dula's point of view.
So, for example, Dula gets lost in the forest, and he sees in a surreal kind of fog a spooky animated character that is actually a figment of his imagination. Or he sees dirty miners with pickaxes singing and running over the hills and so on.
Yes, and so about the visual aspect that we want to achieve, that magical like atmosphere, and you can see some references now. It would be the usage of very wide lenses, like a 14mm or something like that, because that's what, in my point of view, represents the child's viewing of the world, because nothing can escape his perception, and everything that happens around him he can see, he will like remember, and it will forge him in the future. And so the usage of the 14mm lens or 16 or that wide lenses and the aspect ratio that's very wide, 275, then you see everything surrounding a close-up of him. And also a lot of VFX and SFX work there is very important because of the fog that needs to be very there needs
present.
to be a lot of the fog, yeah, in the whole movie, and also the dust and the fire at the end and the house floating and the drone character and so on. But so even though this is a very, like, from production point of view, a complicated project, we've been working on it for like a year already, and the movie won funds at the Film Center of Serbia in the amount of 12,000 euros. And now on Monday, we start our Indiegogo campaign that we are preparing for some time now. And we are also in some negotiations with some rentals in Serbia. And also we have the whole creative team gathered that are the same people that we've been working on with like for 4 years. And they are already involved in the pre-production process and are very excited about the project. And principal photography is planned for 10 days in February on locations in Bosnia that you just saw. And that are locations that we are much familiar with. And the director of photography already saw them, and me and George already shot a documentary there. And that's about it, if you have any questions.
So if you guys have nothing else to say left, we can go on to questions. Jury, have any questions?
Yeah, I will start again because it's in my ballpark. It's visual effects and special effects and everything. Did you have any ideas of which parts of the film you would do with special effects? Which part would you do with visual effects?
Yes, well, actually, I very much like special effects on the set because I think they're very important for the actors and so on. So I would like most of the fog to achieve through SFX and not VFX, and also the fire at the end. And as much as possible to do in camera, but the floating house and some of the characters, like the drone character, needs to be VFX. So that are the two main things that I think to achieve with VFX, and also maybe if the fog, because it's like a landscape, and maybe if the wind is too strong, then maybe some of the fog would need to be redone in VFX.
Excellent, super. And I just want to ask one more thing about the story. Maybe just it was just in presentation or something. That burning of the plaster house came somehow abruptly, and I didn't get the symbolics of it. Why did he burn? I mean, it's just like a burn ground, like when we leave, we will leave nothing, or there is some other message into that?
Yes. So earlier in the film, there's a part of the dialogue that we found to be maybe too much detail for the presentation, where the father is revolted because nothing works, and he's like, sometimes in life there are people who just mess everything you do and there's nothing left, they take everything you have. So through the movie, the kid kind of understands that in his own way. So that it's like, in a way, a symbolical burning of the bridges while retreating. So for him, it's best for it to remain pure the way they made it than to be destroyed with these big diggers and dug into the mine and mixed with the poison and everything.
I get it now. Super. Thank you. That's it from me.
Thank you.
I have two questions. Sorry. First, maybe you said it at the beginning, but I've missed it somehow. In the village, like, is it abandoned already and they are the only family left, or are there still people? I didn't quite get how many people are living there at the moment.
It's a small village, like many of the people left, but there are like 12 families or something like that. A very, very small amount of people are still left there.
And during the course of the film, we see some of them leave, and it actually pushes the family further to also leave.
Okay, and the other question is more about the background of the story. I mean, you said that your grandmother lives in a similar village and she's trying to sell the house, but she can't do it. And from what I understand, it's the complete opposite from the characters of the film. So I wanted to ask, why did you set it up in this way, and why did you want to reverse the situation?
Yes, so actually my grandmother's situation is that she wants to leave, but she's not able to sell the house because at some point the mine was buying houses because they were expanding, and they were paying a lot of money for that, like 20 years ago. But then it seemed like it's too early to move from there. And then now when the mine expanded so much and everything is poisoned, and you can't grow any crops or so on, and people want to move. And now the mine either is paying a very, very small amount of money, or you can sell it to anybody else, because you can sell it for like, nobody wants to move there to live. And so she's trying to sell it for the real amount of money that's worth, because she's very, she worked like her whole life to build that place, and now she doesn't want to sell it for like a small amount of money. But
yes, but we were, I was just trying to say that we were actually thinking while writing the script, okay, so what if she's alone, but if she had a child, and if the child was, very small and getting sick from it, and she was cornered, that's an ultimatum, sort of, you have to leave, and even for the small amount of money if you have higher stakes. So that was kind of a screenwriting aspect of it.
Maybe have any questions?
Yeah, the first one, did I hear correctly? You did a feature experimental film before this?
Yes, well, actually, there is a band in Serbia named Butch Cassidy. They are a very young, like rock experimental disco pop band. And they wanted to do like a live session in August, and they called us, and they were like, we have €1,000 budget. And then we started writing it because we didn't want it to be just a kind of a live session. We wanted it to be a movie. And then we had some like, it's an experiment, because you have some feature parts like with actors, and then you also have the whole crew like documentary. And it's a mix up of that documentary part and that feature part. And that's like what the experiment was about, because we didn't really know what the movie will be about.
So it's not an hour and a half of lines and flip-flop sounds.
It's 1 hour long. It will be something like 1 hour long, but 40 minutes of that is music. But you have also like parts in the music that are like documentary or feature or whatever. So the idea is to have the premiere like at the end of December this year.
Okay, I have one question and one notion. I don't know. Very soon there will be a film out from Dalibor Matanic called Zora. It's an like a continuation of the Zvizdan film from his Sun trilogy. It has the same setup. It's a village and some dark force is moving on to the village, and all the residents are moving out and selling their properties. It has a whole different story in it, but the setup is the same. So maybe before you start filming, you'll be able to see the film, you get some inspiration, or you set it apart somehow from that. But you couldn't see it. I saw it in it's editing. I just wanted to ask you about the atmosphere. It's a pretty, I don't know how to say, negative, spooky, horrible thing it's going on. And do we, through the whole film, is it all fog and hardship, and or do we have some kind of an optimism? Is the child's point of view lighter than the whole story? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So the thing that attracted us most when we were shooting the documentary was actually the clash of the surrealism of the positive aspect, like the people are the whole time positive and joyful, and playing music, and there are many of the things that we saw that they are doing that are positive that we want to include in the movie, but also the harshness of the place. So that's the childish point of view, is the whole time the clash of that two things. So the atmosphere is, you never see the sun by the end of the movie. I mean, the whole movie you don't see the sun. There is a lot of fog, but that's just from the atmosphere. But the things that you see in the shots will be very like positive from that point of view, because for Dula, that building of the plant house is very, very important, and they see that as very positive. And there is also a scene when they install the light bulb at night, and then there are some like light effects there because they are like in a magical heavenly place there. And so also the characters that are around them are very joyful. And so there is a neighbor, Rajo, that is like having a big speaker and singing all the time and so on. So yeah, you're seeing it from that other kind of perspective. Okay, although you are aware that it's very harsh and it's tragical, but you're not seeing it from that perspective the whole time.
Okay, great. I was afraid it was gonna be from the beginning, just going.
No.
Okay.
Because it ups and downs.
I just wanted to say to all the participants, when this pitching forum is live, when you end your presentation, you get an applause. It's a bit more fun experience than this over the Zoom. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. If no one else has any questions, I would like to thank you, David and Georgia, for finishing your pitching in exactly 6 minutes and 52 seconds. So thank you. We can continue. It's time for Croatia. Bojan Radanovic, director. He's the author of many short films, and he's in his final year of MA Studies of Film and TV Directing at the Academy of Dramatic Arts in Zagreb. And Maja Gross, producer, graduated in multimedia from the University North. She's currently second MA year student of productions of audiovisual and multimedia projects. And she's an active producer and executive producer on the documentaries, feature films, and so on. So you have, guys, 7 minutes for pitching your project.
Well, thank you, Elena. Hi, guys. My name is Maja Gross, and I'm the producer of this short film called Fender by Bojan Radanovic. As Elena said, I'm getting my master's degree in film and TV production at the Academy of Dramatic Arts. Right by my side is Bojan Radanovic, who is the director and screenwriter of Fender, and he's also at the Academy of Dramatic Arts, and he's getting his master's degree in film and TV directing. This will be his master's graduating film, and Fender is a war-ridden timepiece, and it's pure drama. Let's call it like that. So this is the first time that Bojan and I will be working together as a producer and director duo, which I'm really excited about because he's a really talented young director who has 6 short movies under his belt, and all of them were quite successful in Croatia. I will leave you to Bojan now. You're in good hands, don't worry. So Bojan, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. About story. We are in West Slavonia, the region of Croatia. The year is 1991 and war between Croats and Croatian Serbs is coming. There is a Goran. Goran is 11 and he's a boy who wants an electric guitar. Goran's father, Nenad, recently got fired from the police. He's Serb and he's afraid for himself and his family. The point of view is Goran, through which we observe the conflict of parents over moving to Belgrade in Serbia. Nenad, father, offers moving as the only solution, but his wife, Marina, refuses. She's Croatian. Nenad and Marina are not aggressive towards each other. They are two people who are not separated by their characters, but by the context in which they find themselves. After the conflict, Goran and Nenad are in the room, and Nenad asks Goran to play him something on acoustic guitar to see if he deserves an electric one. They're buying a little more of their everyday life, which will disappear forever. The next morning, Goran comes out of his room and he sees his mother, Marina, in a catatonic state, just sitting at the table. He asks her where his father is. When he realizes Nenad is gone, he goes out into the yard where he breaks his acoustic guitar. Marina tries to calm him down, but he pushes her away and runs into the street, and they're skipping running, and this is the end of story. When it comes to style, I envisioned the camera to be handheld. This allows for quick switches from the character to the character and following characters through the film. The dominating color will be orange or almost brownish. I will capture the feel of pre-war summer in Croatia, but our main focus is depicting the interior style of early 90s, which at the time was dominated by brown wood panels on the walls and wallpapers. The story is near and dear to my heart because film Fender follows the last day the son and father spent together before parting. The story for the film Fender relies on my experience of losing my father by the circumstances that prevailed the summer of 1991 when I truly saw him for the last time. You must be wondering why the story revolves around Fender. I came across a sentence in a newspaper interview by a Croatian writer and young man who had a rock band before the war, who described the beginning of the war in Croatia from his own perspective. He says, in one moment, you have a Fender strap on your shoulder, and next you have an AK-47 Kalashnikov strap. And that's all for now. Maya will guide you through the rest of our project. Thank you.
Thank you, Bojan. Well, since I watched all of Bojan's films previously, I know that he has impeccable taste for casting. So we have a really good cast in place for this movie. Our lead actress will be played by Anja Matkovic, Anja Matkovic, which is a Croatian actress that is well known for her role in The Paper, which is distributed on Netflix. She's also known for her short films and feature films. There is Frano Mašković, who will play the lead role. And there is, last but not least, our youngest member of the crew, Andrej Radanovic, who is actually the director's son, and that will be his first movie role. We are really excited about that. We already had rehearsals with our cast, and it is evident that they have good chemistry and they work well together. And they're all actually excited about continuing this whole process. You know, when it comes to our financial assets and the budget part of this whole project, we have secured a budget of 40,000 kunas, which is around 5,300 euros. We have secured it through the Academy of Dramatic Arts, of course. On the other hand, we have a couple of things that we need to go through, and this is where you guys come in. We would love to have production consulting before principal photography, just to establish a firm direction in which we are going. Color and grading will surely give this timepiece a great true flavor that we need, and it will bind everything together. Money prize will go towards acquiring shooting locations and period cars, since we do have some of those. And when it comes to marketing this whole thing and distributing a poster done by one of the best studios in the region, I think will really elevate our game and spread the message across loud and clear. That's it from us, guys. We're looking forward to your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. You finished exactly on time. So questions, jury?
So I'll go first. I think you just a little bit speeded up through the storyline. I just wanted to ask, do you, the mother and father are arguing because he's a Serbian, she's a Croatian, he wants to leave, she doesn't want to leave. And then one morning he leaves and the child is very upset about it. But do you understand the reason? I mean, you will understand that he's leaving because war is coming and everything, but are you, I'm sorry guys, I don't know how to verbalize this in English. Do you think the father is an idiot because he left, or you understand the reason and you think maybe if I was in that situation, I would also leave my family?
He's on a big pressure. He's not idiot, but pressure is too much, and I don't know how to explain in Croatian. This is a very very pressure situation, and people make decisions in this emotional state. It's very confused. He's not idiot. I understand it.
Yeah.
And my father, he's left. I don't remember the moment when he's left.
I'm asking because the perception of the story. If I gather that the father is somehow weak and he cannot confront the war and everything, and he just has to leave because he's afraid of his own life, it's one thing. But if he's weak and he's not, I don't know how to say it, he's communicating with his wife in a not so nice way, I'm gonna think, okay, he's an idiot. It's better that he left. The child is better out without him. It's a completely other perception of the story. Okay.
I have one question regarding the title of the movie. You explained it nicely with this, and I really like this metaphor that one moment you have a fender and next moment you have a gun on your shoulder. But do we see something like that in the film? Because if if kid is having only his acoustic guitar, what you said in the beginning that he wants to buy a Fender, or I don't remember.
Yes, yes. He asked his father.
Yeah. To
for
buy
this.
Yeah, to buy him a Fender. Yeah, but I mean, it's not. If you don't know this line from the newspaper, you would not be able to get this parallel. Why is title Fender? I mean, at least in my opinion, because if you know that, it's perfectly fine. But is there any way maybe to incorporate that newspaper title in the movie or something, or maybe like a prologue on the beginning?
Yes, sure. Well, the thing is, we envisioned the whole set design of the kids' room to be dominated by Fender posters, by all of these amazing rock bands, especially ex-Yugoslavia bands who have Fenders and play on Fenders. So there's this little kid who wants to grow up and be just like people he sees on posters, and that's why he wants a Fender. So that's one thing where we wanted to show that Fender is in the picture. Since this is a really great way to define it, we were thinking about incorporating it into posters and additional marketing and other materials. So it would make the story, clearer and to go in that way.
Yeah,
we were not thinking about incorporating the AK-47 strap directly into the movie. We're just trying to focus on the Fender part, which is actually the positive part. It's something that the kid looks forward to. It's something that he builds his happiness on, and then the war comes, and then the war shatters everything. So
yeah, that's the second part of my question. So does it mean that he will not get the Fender because his father left, or because of the war?
War is the reason. War is the reason.
Okay.
War is the reason for everything.
Yeah, I understand.
That's the context.
Yeah, I understand that part. But since Goran told you rushed pretty roughly through the story, so we didn't get this part.
There's actually, sorry for interrupting. There's actually a scene in the movie that's kind of an opening scene where they go to borrow some money from his godfather in order to best man, in order to buy his kid a Fender and take him one last time to the seacoast before they move to Belgrade. But that never comes to life because he decides it's best for him to leave.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I first of all wanted to agree both with Tom and Goran. I think those were very really important questions. I also feel like Goran said, like, I don't exactly know what your relationship with the character is, and I'm not speaking in terms of you to your father, but if you're judging the character or not, and if you like him or not, and what you think of him, maybe this would change the way that we perceive the story. I actually have a question about the visual aspect of the film, because you said about the handheld camera and that you would like for it to change like from character to character quite quickly, and that actually fits with the way that you told the story, that it's quite energetic and everything is happening quite quickly. I just wanted to ask if those would be close-ups because the film is emotional, what we could like feel from the story that you said, or would it be more of showing the set and showing the world, and if you want to combine that, or if you're focusing on either one or the other?
And I love I like close-ups when comes dialogue scenes and in scene in the frame. We have a character who suffer dialogue line in close-up.
Yes, we're gonna see. We're gonna show, and we're gonna see, and we're gonna follow the actors who are reacting to what is happening in the dialogue.
Okay, I just have to.
No.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were.
Sure, we're done.
We're done.
We're done.
If you are.
The Tom said that the title seems confusing. I just have to mention that most of the time the viewers of the film will see the title in a festival catalog or a festival website, and the Fender in English is a car part. So maybe it should be a Fender guitar for international and Fender in Croatian, because who knows, for a Fender guitar he's gonna know it's a Fender, but that's it.
Of course, but at the same time, regarding the production, part, we are also very aware that that's a brand. So we are contacting the management of the brand just to see about the rights and to try to get the rights for some type of exploitation. So
get the rights and some money as a sponsor.
Well, hopefully. Thank you.
Thanks.
So if no one has any questions, thank you so much, Bojan and Maya. We can continue. Let's welcome Bosnia and Herzegovina. So Isidora Ratkovic, director, is a third-year student at the Academy of Performing Arts in Sarajevo, directing department. Sarajevo Film Festival screened her short documentary, and the next year, in 2019, she won the jury award, participation award for her short film. And Ines Radic, producer, is a graduate of the Academy of Performing Arts in Sarajevo at the Department of Production and Management. And she's currently working as a multiplex manager at Cineplex Plaza Mostar. So girls, you have 7 minutes for pitching your project. You can start.
Hello everyone, I'm Ines Radic. I'm graduate student of production of Academy of Performing Arts in Sarajevo. With me in team is Isidora Ratkovic, student of directing in the same academy. And Isidora and I know each other for a few years as we are both children of Sarajevo Film Festival. As I was in producing department and Isidora's films was screened and awarded at festival. But this is our first time that we are working together in roles of me as a producer and Isidora is as a screenwriter and director of the project. So we are very excited about that.
Yeah, the project that we are going to present to you today is a short film, The Gift, and I developed it on my screenwriting classes. And what I wanted to do is kind of combine my all-time desire to make a mother-daughter movie with the current mood that we are still in. And that is the mood of this coronavirus being spread and kind of being closed and claustrophobic. So I decided to set my family drama that investigates the relationship between mother and daughter in this alternative reality of contemporary Sarajevo, where this extremely dangerous virus is being spread and anyone who comes in contact with it becomes seriously infected and eventually dies. So we have mother and daughter closed in house and we are following a few days of their everyday life under these circumstances. In the opening scene, we can see Anja, who is 20, and she is at the balcony looking at empty streets that are filled with snow, and there are no people outside. We can only see emergency cars passing by and taking dead people from the building next door. So kind of we can feel from the first scene that something is wrong with the reality that they are set in. Soon as her mother, Maria, 50, approaches her, what we also perceive from the first scene is that the two of them are completely different. So Maria is this crazy curly-haired woman with colorful clothes. She has crystals all over the house. She's into meditation and she doesn't care about the virus. She thinks it's a government thing that they're poisoning them. And Anja is much more serious. She is this thin, serious girl. And kind of we have that inverted roles of mother and daughter. And Anja is the one that takes care of her mother. So what we also feel is that there is something wrong between the two of them. And in the following scene, as Maria, mother, makes Anja meditate with her as a part of the ritual, which Anja is not very proud of. we find out that Maria is alcoholic and that Anya is very mad at her because she can't control her alcoholism in this circumstances where nobody can help them. So she's very concerned about her mother. So the film follows following their fights, but also the rituals of love that they have. So Maria braids Anya's hair, she makes popcorn for them, she cuts her split ends. So we have this feeling of very bipolar, intense relationship, because I find mother-daughter relationship like that, I can feel it's like very complex and intense. So as we are following those few days of winter, the New Year's Eve is coming, but also Anya's birthday. And as Anya is preparing her online celebration of New Year Eve in this new normal circumstances, her mother is trying to find an ingredient that is missing to make cake for Anya's birthday. But what happens is that in the New Year's Eve, as Anya is dancing in her room with her friends on Skype meeting, she's being all happy and like excited. Her mother is looking at her from the other room and she feels very lonely, and kind of her passive aggressiveness comes to the fore. So the final big fight occurs between the two of them. And after that New Year's Eve, they go into their rooms and they stop talking to each other for that night. And in the morning, as Anya wakes up, as the birthday messages start popping up, she can see that her mother is not in the house. So she becomes very worried because of the situation, because nobody can leave the house. And soon her mother appears on the door with the ingredient that was missing for Anya's cake, and kind of trying to tell to her daughter that she's still capable of doing things, that she's still the one. And like Anya also sees that her mother is coughing and that she's feeling bad, that she's probably infected. So she calls emergency and they come for them in those apocalyptic full body suits and take them to the hospital, where they leave them in the chaos of people that are waiting to get help and that are fighting with each other. And so we have this open ending where Anya can't help her mother because nobody will help, and her mother just braids her hair as she has done as a ritual of love through the movie. And we have like we have that feeling that they only have the two of each other in this complex relationship to lean on, because nobody will help them in this world. And in this feeling, I very much find the atmosphere important in this film, and also the colors. So I can see it kind of in the contrast of cold colors and warm colors. So outside it is very cold. It is these are wide shots, and there is no life outside. And inside we can see those red details. Like red is very important color for me in this sense, because it is very intense. It can be love, it can be hate, it can be passion, but it is always something intense feeling between the two of them. And in the matter of reference, I would definitely say Ingmar Bergman's Autumn Sonata, because this film very much interestingly combines those close-ups in a non-classical way, where we can really feel the emotions of actors in extreme close-ups, but also offers us extremely wide shots of like in those wide shots, I would use them to see how the people are being lost in those crowds, and kind of personal identities are being lost. Ines.
Shooting locations are in Sarajevo. We have 3 locations: apartment, hospital, and empty streets. Filming will take 3 days. Isidora and I want to shoot in winter, maybe January, February, because this movie is about relationship and virus in the apocalyptic time. This is the hardest part of production, because we need empty streets and it will be snowy. But the good thing is that in Bosnia and Herzegovina we can shoot at the time of pandemic, as currently director Ida Begic is shooting her movie. Now budget, we are preparing our budget. As students we can use equipment from our academy. We also have opportunity, and we will do post-production in our academy too. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, girls, so much. You already, you also finished exactly on time. Thank you. Jury, questions?
May I start with the one at the end where you said about empty streets and stuff like that? Did you consider because it's something that's relatively easy done if prepared properly in pre-production to empty streets using visual effects? Because you can get it relatively easily in that way with the locked off cameras and stuff like that.
Yeah, we honestly didn't, because as students we usually don't think that way, but yeah.
You should.
We probably should.
You should. You should stop censoring yourself because you think that something is hard, because that part, for example, is relatively easy to do. And I like story a lot, so yeah, that's the only comment from my part that you had. The only thing that I want to say is, but since you said that you will have empty streets, somehow while you were talking about this, heard two of them loving each other regardless of the exterior view of how it looks from the outside, but they love each other as far as I understood it. Going through the streets with a lot of like ill people or something. Somehow I felt it's like a zombie movie without zombies. Kind of, not really, but I get that feeling, like it's everything is scary outside. The only like safe haven is their home. So I like that part.
You presented it very well. I think the story is great. I don't have any questions. I have just one thing to say. It seems to me that you have a mother and a daughter in a flat, and they are living together. They have their rituals. They are arguing, and if the dynamics of the arguing is going up to the point of the New Year's Eve, it seems to me that you should end the film when mother comes home, because you have a culmination, and the daughter wakes up and she thinks her mother is crazy and she went somewhere and she's gonna die, and you see how much she loves her and how much she's worried. And when the mother comes home and you see that she was going to get the missing ingredient for the cake, that's it. You know, they love each other, that the quarrel, the fighting is over. And it seems to me that there's no real reason to get the mother sick and the astronaut clothes and the hospital and all of that, but that's just my opinion. But great work, girls.
Thank you.
For me, one comment that I think in line with what Goran said a little bit as well. I mean, do we know from the beginning that it's this strange disease that they cannot leave the house, or do we just know that it's empty streets and we don't know what's happening? Because if we don't know, then maybe it makes sense that she gets sick and then we find out. But if we know from the beginning, then the ending, I would agree, is not that necessary.
Yeah, we do know through the Maria's comments, but also the TV like is bombarding people with those informations, and they are parts of it. So it is kind of all time. Everybody speaks about it, and she with her friends on online calls and so on. Yeah.
The other question I had, I mean, one more small comment that I hope we won't still be locked at home by New Year's, and that's one short thing. And then I wanted to ask about the pace of the film. Like, is it them arguing all the time and shouting, etc., or is it going to be slowing down at some point, or slower or more silent in any way as they are together at home?
Yeah, there is a it is kind of passive aggressive. Sometimes it is very intense fight, and sometimes it's just like those looks and those feeling of uneasiness, which is kind of specific for Bosnia. I mean, for our mentality, there is something in family members, there is always something unspoken, but also sometimes when we shout at each other. So I think I know that very well from my family. Yeah, I could feel that.
Thank you. If no one has any questions, thank you, Isidora and Ines. We can continue. Montenegro. Miljan Vucelic, producer. He completed his undergraduate and specialized studies at the Faculty of Dramatic Arts in Cetinje, Department of Production, and he is currently attending a master's degree in production in Cetinje. He is producer of student short films, and unfortunately his colleague is currently on one shooting, so Miljan is pitching alone. So welcome, Miljan. You can start when you're ready.
Hi to everyone. So share. I am Miljan Vučelić, student of film production from Montenegro and producer of this short film. Today I'm here alone. Director Slaven is not able to attend the presentation, but I hope that I will be able to present the project to you in the best way. The short feature film AR913 is a story about teenager Pavle, who one night found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. Film genre is psychological thriller, which is mainly focuses on an unstable emotional state of our main character, Pavle. Pavle is an 18-year-old, grew up in one of the city settlements where it's important to belonging to the hood. He plays handball at the city club. He's not presented as a perfect son, but also far from representing someone who doesn't have a future. One summer night, Pavle and his two friends saw a car explode in their neighborhood. Pavle makes decision to say the police number of car plates on car which was passing near them at high speed immediately after the incident. He suspects the car was involved in that crime. The other two friends, Stefan and Andrea, don't support his decision because it's not their job. It doesn't concern them. The young inspector takes a statement from Pavle and tries to solve this case. Friends rejected Pavle. They don't approve his action. They consider him as a snitch. From the moment he learns from his friends that he shouldn't have interfered in things that don't concern them, paranoia and fear appear in Pavle. This is the best shown by the scene when the main character walks the streets alone at night, not looking at the road in front of him, and questioning himself why he made such a decision. Did he do it right? However, from that moment, Pavle began to be followed by the people who took part in that crime. All this caused a fear in him for his own life and lives of his mother and his younger brother. The young inspector who supported Pavle in his decision under the pressure from someone from above convinced Pavle to change the statement. Pavle changed his statement, but continues to live in fear, trying to regain the trust of his friends. This is a film about individuals in one value system. The film asks the question, it is smarter to be blind in front of the eyes and look only at your yard and be guided by it doesn't concern me. The camera should follow the characters who are in constant motion, mainly a movement that shouldn't be controlled. That is why the film will be guided by a sense of immediacy. The main character is characterized by one important thing for the style of the film. That's the loneliness. Directors place a lot of attention to working with actors, which I have opportunity to see in his previous film. We have for now main cast is confirmed. That's the Inspector Aleksandar Gabranic, young actor from Montenegro, famous for series South Wind and the feature film Iskra. Also, that's the main character mother. That's Dubravka Drakic, one of the most famous Montenegrin actress. For Pavle, we choose the Pavle Prelevic, young actor, one of the actor from our academy, Faculty of Dramatic Arts in Cetinje. Also, very important part of the crew is the director of photography, Ivan Chojbasic. With him, I had a successful collaboration on our previous film, which is screened at competition program festivals such as Sarajevo or Drama. Now we have support from two production companies, Atomic Production and ABBA Film, who give me support also on my previous student films. We wait to be confirmed support from Film Center of Montenegro. We expect there about 3,000 euros. In this stage, any support for our project is very important. We plan to shooting film in 3 days in the end of the May or on the beginning of the June next year, and to finish film until the August. We will pay attention to the festival distribution. We want as many people as possible to see our film, and I think that festivals are key for distribution of short films. We would like to film to be screened at the important festivals in Europe and the region. That would mean a lot for our promotion and making a relationship in industry. I believe this project can be successful. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Miljan. Right on time, even earlier. So it's time for questions. Jury?
If you were to say in one sentence what the film is about for you, what would it be? Would it be loneliness or would it be something else?
I think that's loneliness with some confused situation for one 18-year-old boy.
Okay, I just wanted to ask, we are following Pavle the whole film, and
yes.
If I get it right, you have in the beginning of the film, you find out that he's playing handball, he had some friends, and then they see the car and this surreal, frightening atmosphere starts, and they start following him. And I just want to see what kind of a character Pavle is, and how much of the character you meet in the beginning of the film.
In the beginning of the film, we know that he's a normal boy with friends. His friends means a lot for him. But through the film, when he make this decision, he don't know why he do that. But his friends rejected him, and he feels alone and loneliness through the whole film until the end. When we see the handball match where he have a good score.
I'm asking because if he's a nice guy, if I like the character, then I will cheer for him because he is doing the moral thing. His friends are idiots because they don't want to get involved in that. He's the nice guy, the Superman of the crowd. And if I don't think he's a very nice guy, if he's just some guy who's okay, then during the film I'll think, okay, I don't give a fuck what happens to him. It doesn't matter to me. That's why I'm asking, because he's the whole. I think the whole. My involvement with the character will be if I like him, if I cheer for him. If I don't want to see the film to the end. That's why I'm asking. Yeah.
Tom, you have any questions? No? Thank you so much. We can continue. And for the end, we have North Macedonia. Aydin Islami, director. He's his undergraduate studies for film and TV directing with many achievements behind him. He was director, clapper, boom operator, and so on. And Nikola Kimovsky, producer. He studies production at the Faculty of Dramatic Arts in Skopje, North Macedonia, and he worked for Macedonian National Theatre, Vienna Festival, Theatre of Tuscany, and he produced many movies. So you can start, guys.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Nikola Kimovsky, the producer of the movie The Day Of. At the same time, I'm finishing my studies for movie and theater production at the Faculty of Dramatic Arts in Skopje. And now I would like to introduce you to the director and screenwriter of The Day Of. He's about to graduate his movie direction studies. This is our second movie that we work on together, and I'm very glad for that. Aydin Islami, please.
Thanks, Nikola. Our movie, The Day Off, is a drama with elements of dark comedy, and it's a story about Petar, a 35-year-old convict who is serving time in prison for a physical assault, and it's also an ex-loan shark. And it's heavily implied throughout the film that Petar also used to have problems with alcohol. Now, Petar, who has been in prison for 3 years and has 2 more to go, has been learning the craft of carpentry while he's in prison. And he's hoping that once he gets out, he will open his very own antique furniture repair shop as a means to make an honest living. But most importantly, he wants to reconnect with his estranged wife, Maria, and their 5-year-old son, Theo, who barely knows him. So because of his good behavior, Petar is given his first weekend off, and he goes home to his hometown of Skopje, but doesn't tell anyone that he's coming home because he wants to surprise them. He gets there feeling very enthusiastic and happy, goes to Maria's apartment, rings on the doorbell. Maria comes out, and she's certainly surprised to see him, as Theo is somewhere in the back looking at this half familiar face. Out of the bedroom door comes out Boris, and Boris is Petar's friend, who is also a loan shark and has become a police officer while Petar was in prison. Now, Petar, being the one who is rudely surprised, he finds himself in this strange and shocking situation. He doesn't know what to do or what to say. Maria is nervous and drinking, trying to calm herself down. Boris comes out in his police uniform. They are both apologizing to him, but what really defeats Petar in this situation is to see that Theo has found quite a father figure in Boris, and they seem like a little family. So Petar just tries to leave, but Boris asks him to come with him to drop off Theo at the kindergarten so they can have a talk in the car, and they do. And on the way there, Boris asks Petar to come and help him to take money from a guy that owes him a lot, who has been escaping him. And Petar somehow reluctantly accepts. As for Boris, this is a sort of a form of an apology. So they drop off Theo, they get to the guy's house, and Petar manages to catch him before he escapes, and they take him inside, where Boris proceeds to brutally beat him up. And all the violence going on in front of him causes disgust in Petar. He doesn't want to do anything with it, so he leaves the house, and Boris soon follows out with a handful of money, which he gives to Petar, but Petar refuses the money. So in the heat of the moment, Boris insults Petar, and Petar just punches him in the face and leaves. In the next scene, we see Petar going to see his father, and for a change, he's pleasantly surprised to see him. And after they hug and they catch on, soon enough, Petar is unpleasantly surprised again when he finds out that his father sold the tools he was hoping to use for his business when he gets out. His father saying that he's now retired, he didn't have use of the tools. Petar is feeling betrayed. He storms out of the house, and he's wandering the streets of Skopje at night when he gets a call from Maria saying that they should talk, but Petar just says that they need to get a divorce. She knows where to send the documents, and that's it. So in this terrible day, this puts the final nail in the coffin for Petar, who is at a nearby supermarket and goes in and frantically searches for the alcohol section. He gets there and finds the booze he wants to buy, which is in a glass door, and as he opening the glass door, the whole glass from the shelves fall and it breaks, and causing a loud noise, and all the people are looking at Petar, who is feeling scared and vulnerable. The supermarket security comes and Petar attacks them, which give into a chase around the supermarket and out into the streets, where Petar manages to escape them by getting into a taxi. So as he catches his breath in the taxi, the driver asks him where he wants to go, but Petar doesn't answer. Instead, we see his face coming to some sort of a realization that life went on without him while he was in prison. So we go to the final scene of the film, where we see the taxi stop, Peter pays and gets out, the car leaves, and in a white shot we reveal actually that Peter has come back to the prison. So the movie ends the way it started. He's there greeted by the same guard who let him out in the morning, and he asks Peter in a sarcastic manner like, "Oh, back so soon, what's new out there, what's out there?" And Peter just replies, "There is nothing out there." He gets in, the guard closes the door behind him, and this is the end of the film. Now I'm gonna let Nicola finish up with a few details on the production. Thank you.
Thank you. With our short movie, The Day Of, we plan to apply for financial support from the North Macedonia Film Agency at the beginning of next year. At the moment, our movie is at pre-production stage. We have a successful team that worked on the short movie to 2018, and we plan to use the same one for the production of this movie as well. The location that we plan to use for this movie are all in Skopje, and at the moment we're doing location scouting for the client on the exact ones. We are motivated and ready to start shooting and make a great movie. Thank you for your attention, and we are ready for question, of course.
Thank you guys so much on finishing on time. So jury, questions?
Just wanted to, did I hear you right, that it's a black comedy drama?
Yes, well, it's mainly a drama, but it certainly has some black comedy moments in it.
Can you tell us what are the comedy moments, because the whole story is like a incredibly pessimistic drama.
Well, I think we can have pessimism and black comedy, but the main black comedy moments comes at where he finds out that his wife is having an affair with his friend, and the way it's gonna be handled in not too serious manner, it's certainly an element of black comedy to me.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Do you have a duration in mind? Like, do you know how long the film would be?
Well, I'm guessing somewhere between 15 to maximum 20 minutes.
Okay, because it's just hearing the story and so many things that happened, it seemed to me that it's very long. Like it was almost like listening to a, storyline of a feature film. So I just wanted to, I'm not sure how you're gonna fit all that in 15 minutes, but but it's.
We have a lot of location and a lot of supporting characters, of course, but the scenes are short. They are not long in duration.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I have one question. You said when he enters a cab that he suddenly realized that there is nothing for him out there. How do you plan to show that?
Just a close up in his realization on the face, and then I think it will be pretty clear when we get to the final scene, closing that, coming full circle the story.
Any more questions? No? So we're finished. I would love to say thank you to everyone. You all were really amazing. The plan is that the jury now leaves this Zoom meeting and joins into another where they will decide who the winner is. And we have time for I don't know, take a break until 3 o'clock. And then we will find out who the winner is. So thank you again, everyone. So hello guys, hello again. The jury really took its time to think through all of your projects. And I think, honestly, personally, that it was a really hard decision. And I really could not decide by myself. So thank you all for being participants. And if any of you would love some feedback, you can contact us, and the jury will give you honest feedback on what is good, what is bad, and stuff like that. So I would love to let Eva say who the winner is. Eva, are you with us? Hello?
Yes, sorry, I was on mute, I didn't realize. So we appreciated all the projects, and thank you very much for sharing your ideas with us. The project that we chose, we felt that it was really an inspiring and interesting story, especially told from the perspective of the unsettling times that we live in. And we hope, and that's the message that we want to also send to the project, that the winners will also consider everything that was said here, and especially reconsider the ending. And then the winner is?
The girls from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Isidora Ratkovic and Ines Radic. Congratulations, girls.
Thank you very much. We are very happy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, clapping, yeah. There would be a clap now if we were all in Zagreb in the Academia's cinema room. You were all very good, some of you excellent, some of you good, and I congratulate you to being accepted to this forum, and thank you for sharing your ideas.
If no one has nothing else to say, I would also love to say congratulations, girls, and we will contact you. We'll, how to say, connect you to our panel members so you can start working on your project. Congratulations again. And if Tom has anything to say, maybe.
I mean, yeah, I just want to say that I'm really looking forward to working with you girls, help you bring that a little post-apocalyptic that it's not that hard as you might think, and I would like to hear from you when you start preparing production, so I can help you with those empty scenes.
That would be great. That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So I think we're done here, right? Thank you all, and congratulations, girls, really.
Thank you a lot.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye. Congratulations. Bye.